Hello everyone, my name is Lama Elnaggar. This is my GitHub repository, comp 4004, assignment 4. That's my student number, which is 1010192224. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how I fixed part 1. So these are my commit history over here. Okay, and then I also have I'm gonna show you the collaborators that I have for this repository, which are the two TAs and the professor. And now I'm gonna explain how I fixed part 1. So let me just clone the repository. So right here I have created a directory or a folder in my system, which is called part 1. And so in this directory I'm gonna do a git clone. And as you can see, I have cloned it, and now I'm gonna go to my Eclipse to just import it there. So I'm gonna do an import, and it's a Maven project, so I'm just gonna import it as an existing Maven project. I'm gonna select browse, and then I'm gonna go to part 1, which I have that directory, and then I'm gonna select that academic tracking cucumber. Okay, so I'm gonna click finish, and it's gonna take time to build and just set its files over there. And so the issue that we had with part 1 initially was that we had two students that were attempting to register, and so because that they were under a thread conception, we had that one that we always had student 2 was able to to register, but then we would get that message that we had already registered for that course, even though student 2 did not attempt to register according to his own interface. He did not register for his course yet. And so let's just run a server here, or actually let me show you first how I fixed it. So I did assign just a student number variable where I used to pass it every time there used to be a transition in in the states, from going from student to student login or student to register course. So it's gonna be in where was it? It's gonna be in the logic handler. So in the input handler over here, um, I did create a student number attribute that, let me show you what happens. So I get to call it and I get to assign it the student number that gets passed by the first time you do a login, right? So when you do a student login and you enter the student number for the first time, I make sure that this student number gets circulated or gets passed on every time we have this change in state, like from student to select course or drop course and whatnot. So you can see here, I've been calling it when I get to the output handler. So I assign it student number over here. And so these output handlers are in regards to, let's say you are in a state of being a select course or student number when you're being registering for a course, or when you're deregistering for a course or dropping a course even. So yeah. Okay, so let me let me prove that I did fix it. So let me run a server and two clients. Okay, so let me just get the server on. So I'm gonna have a server running, and I'm just gonna pin it here. I'm gonna add another console that would refer to another client. Okay, I'm gonna pin this one, and then lastly I'm gonna have my last client that would be running as my student 2. Okay, so I'm gonna pin this one. So this is student 1, as you can, okay, so this is student 1. One sec. This is student 1, right? And this is student 2. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this on top just that we can see the two different outputs at the same time. So initially, before we attempt to do that, we need to create the course and create the students by logging in as a clerk. So let me enter it and enter as a clerk. And right now I'm gonna create the course. The course will be Comp 4004. It has a course code of 12345 6 and it has a cap size of 2. We're gonna enforce the prereqs and gonna have a number of midterms 2, number of assignments 4, and we're gonna have no final, no project. Okay, that's a success, cool. Now we're gonna create a student, so student 1. I get this prompt sometimes, so just please discard it. It gets better. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so now we're gonna input the student. So we're gonna put 1234567 8 as a student number, and the name will be S1, and it's gonna be not a full time. Okay, so that's a success. Now we're gonna create another student, which we call him student 2, and excuse me about this. Okay, I think when I put a space, sometimes it gets to reprompt me again. So like a space at the end, so it gets to reprompt me to do the same thing again. So now we're gonna input the student info. So we're gonna have 98765. So just from 9 to 1 in descending order. And student 2 is gonna be their name, and that's not a full time. Okay, that's a success. Now that's it. We're just gonna log out as a clerk. And right now I do have my student 1 under on the bottom and student 2 on top. Okay, so let me start with student 1. I'm gonna be a student. I'm gonna have my student number as 1 to 9 and the student name is this one. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna do a student. I'm gonna put from 9 to 1 as my student number. Okay, and here is his name. Okay, cool. Now both of these are asked what am I gonna do, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna select the course for both, and this one will select the course too. Okay, so both have an access to this course, and now I'm gonna put for student 1 to register to select this course. So I'm gonna sorry, not the name, I'm gonna put the course code. Okay, and here as well I'm gonna put the course code. Cool. Now I'm about to click enter and click enter here to register the course. So I'm going to register student 1 in the course, and the same thing here, I'll ask them to register the course. Now which course? It's doing the same thing. Okay. Oh, it's register for course. I didn't forgot. Yeah, sorry. It's register for course. So I still did not put enter here, but I'm gonna press enter. Cool. And right now I'm gonna press enter on this side. Okay, did place a space. Okay, perfect. So now I do have the list of the selected courses by both of these two students, student 1 and student 2. So for student 1, I'm gonna select or register this course. I'm gonna write input the student number. So yep, I did register in the course, and now I'm gonna do that for student number 2. I'm gonna put the student number, and we are assuming here that it's not gonna show any that there was a failed attempt in it. It's gonna show that it was successful in registering student 2 in the course. So there you go. I did register both students, and yeah, this is it. So now let me just show you very briefly how is that gonna be shown in the logs. All right, so right here under part 1, and we go to the logs. So you can see with respect to the logs out here that we have the connection to the server, and then we're going to be waiting for a client, and that's where we are like registering the 2 students. Okay, you can see that one student is S1, the other student is S2. Selecting the courses, and then the state, you can see here it's going to show both as a state of success for let me get it away for selecting, for registering a course. So you see it says here as a success, and yeah, um yeah, there it is. This is it for part one. I just want to point out something in case you get into a trouble um, with running log4j. Just make sure that under the project, when you do a right click on this and try to get to the build path, that you have added the log4j over there, okay? And log4j with 1.2.8, the latest version, as well as the one over here. If it happened to be an outdated one, just delete it and re-import it again. Not sure why this happens always on my Mac, but yeah. This is it, and this is it for part one.